Welcome back to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today at Branston Golf and Country Club. Today's video is the second part of a Break 100 series, and today's video is all going to be about taking your medicine, when to chip out, when to go for it. Stay tuned to find out more. As mentioned, today's video is a second part of a series of videos I'm doing on a Break 100 series. I've got a Break 90 and a Break 80 coming as well, so I just wanted to share some useful hints, some tips that I think can really lower your score, and on this one, of course, make sure you break that 100 score. So I found myself in the trees here, and it's a decision of what I want to do. So I've got the aggressive play under low branches. So these are all cut about the same height. I've got around 10 foot or so, but I'd have to keep it no higher than 10 foot for a good 60 yards, then carry the bunker to try and go that way. So the hole, this is a par 5, so this would be if I've pushed my tee shot to the right hand side. I could try and hit an aggressive shot, but I've got to keep it very low, carry the bunker. It's a very, very tough shot. Or do I play the sensible one out here where I've got a lot of room? I could play the very sensible one and just to the side here, but I think I've got plenty of room between these trees here. I've got a good 10, 15 yards between them, and I can get the ball back out to the fairway. But I wanted to talk you through the options and also my thinking with this. I see a lot of golfers perhaps choosing the sensible option, trying to chip the ball out, but then hitting it into trouble because they don't hit the ball far enough, so they're still blocked out for their next shot, or they hit the ball too far through the fairway the other side and again get blocked out. So if you are going to choose the sensible chip out option, which I 100% think you should do in this scenario, I want you to look at the distance you also want to hit the ball. How far do we want the ball to fly? So I've got here to go past the trees. It's 25 yards to get past that last tree. So I really want to be, it's about 30 yards to the edge of the fairway. And on the run out the other side of the fairway, it's to about 60 yards. So I want the ball to finish somewhere between 30 and 60 yards. What I've got to do is actually look for where I want to land it. I would, once you put your bag down or park your trolley, walk up there and just try and get, which I've already done, walk up there and try and get the idea of where do I want to be hitting this shot from? How far do I want to be? The ideal for me in the middle of this fairway is about 45 yards. So I'm looking to try and hit a shot where it lands just short of the edge of the fairway or on the edge of the fairway at 25 to 30 yards and then rolls another 20. I'm obviously going to be trying to keep the ball relatively low. So a bit more thinking. It's not just grab a club and go for it and realize you're still blocked out for the next shot and you can't go past the tree. So don't cause, one bad shot off the tee, going for it to turn into, instead of just a bogey golf, a double, a triple, or a worse because I'm compounding the error. Get the ball back in play, but also make sure when you do try and get the ball back in play, you really are in play and we're not blocked out to try and go for our third shot. So I've really got to look at where I want to land the golf ball. I also get a lot of people, when they're choosing club selection, they tend to just have a favourite. I'd be looking at how low I need to hit it to go under these tree branches and get the ball back out onto that fairway. If the rough was a little bit longer, which would be quite unfair, but if the rough was longer, I might have to actually fly that ball a little bit further, or I might have to go even a more sensible shot. The rough here is, well, we've had some real good dry weather, so actually the rough isn't particularly, the semi-cut here isn't particularly punishing. So it can roll through this as long as I've got enough momentum with a lower lofted golf club. So I'm going to be choosing, I think, a 6 iron. I was between a 6 and a 5, trying to land the ball about 25 yards and roll out there. But it's not just to grab a club and hit it. I want a bit more planning as to where you're trying to go. So when we're playing this chip out shot, we want it to be very much like a bump and run, a chip shot, which is actually part 1 of the Break 100 series I've covered. So very similar, I want to play the ball nearer my back foot to make sure that my sternum is ahead of the golf ball. What a lot of people do is they move the ball back but then lean back. We've really got to make sure that our sternum is ahead of the golf club. And importantly also, when we're going lower and taking distance off, I want you to grip down the handle. So I want you to come right down, almost so the index finger of your bottom hand, your trail hand, is on the steel of the shaft or the graphite of the shaft. So I've got the ball nearer my back foot, my trail foot. I've made sure that my sternum is ahead of the golf ball, so I feel most of my weight onto this front foot, and I'm going to grip very low. I want to try and feel like it's a very stiff wristed shot. We are not trying to get the ball airborne. So we want to feel like it's a very stiff wristed shot. And when I'm having my practice swings, I definitely want to be looking where I'm trying to land the ball, not necessarily where I want it to finish. So I'm trying to land the ball one bounce just short of the fairway to roll out. So when I'm having my practice swings, I'm imagining the swing length I need to land the ball there. Okay, let me give it a go with those couple of key points. So ball near my back foot, sternum's ahead of the golf ball, I've gripped right down the bottom of the handle, and it's a very stiff wristed shot. Just before I hit, I'm going to look where I want to land it, eyes back, and then go. So I've managed to land that ball. Do you know what? It took a couple of bounces in the rough there, slightly shorter where I wanted, but it's ended up slap bang in the middle of the fairway. I'm not blocked out at all. I've taken my medicine. I can now try and go towards the green for my third shot. And hopefully I'll have only wasted one maximum. A great exercise for this shot, this chip out of the trees, this bump and run, or the shot round the green, is just using a cane or another club up the side of the golf club here to really try and take the wrists out of it. So if we use too much wrists or swung too long in the backswing, we'd see the cane. If we tried to use our wrists too much on the way through, we'd hit ourselves. So it wants to feel very much a body movement with no real hand or arm action. As I said, a lot of people compound the error by not really picking a landing area, or they're trying to get the ball too airborne. You can see from that, especially from this angle, it was a very low shot. I didn't want to flirt with the trees, the branches at all. My aggressive play would be that way. But God, it's tough to keep it that low for that long and fly the bunker. The real sensible option that's going to help me break 100 is getting the ball back out into play. I know if you can do that, you're only going to be wasting one shot, not 2 or 3 or 4. So when you're trying to break that magic 100 score, this is really key and going to help your game. If you did enjoy the content of that video, do subscribe to the channel for all the other relevant content every Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30. Thanks guys, we'll see you soon.